Alrighty, good evening, everybody. I have had quite the day, I tell you what. So, we have the Chapter 10 update Shatterpoint, and that was exciting. So, that was a 6-hour maintenance is the thing. And as it turns out, my phone's memory capacity was full. So, I couldn't actually download the update while I was at work. Instead, I was doing some fan fiction of a big action scene, trying to work my way up to that. And I got really excited about it. But the thing about what happens when I write is when I write, I get really excited, and that causes me to like cry and have a runny nose and other stuff. It's really annoying and physically drains me. But normally what I would do is I would do something else to take my mind off of it, but because my phone couldn't download the update, I couldn't do that. I tried to I tried to delete Discord just so I could get a taste of it, and that did not work. I still didn't have enough room, so then I tried to re-download Discord, and I forgot my password because I have a different password for everything. So I just ended up daydreaming like half of my shift. But that's over. We got it all taken care of. I went and got a solid state drive, so now my phone has big E capacity. And everything is now better. Hello, Sora. How are you? One of the most important things is we got module updates for D-cell binders. And as anyone who watches my stream knows, my favorite D-cell binder is Panenko. Bad news is I need 3 of these. All right, no more bad news. Everything's fine. So I will be reading her module. I never got around to reading Matamoru's module, so I'll be reading that too as a treat. And we have a couple Paradox Sims. I think it's Jessica, Cutter. I think it might just be Jessica and Cutter. Op, 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 op. Excuse me, op. Op. Paradox Sim. Op. So yeah, just Jessica and Cutter this time. Amaranthine Nursery. The operator temporarily standing in for me. Hello. My name is Fidenko. My health isn't too good lately. The doctors say it's because of overwork and so on, so I have to recuperate. And I'm not allowed to go and look after the plants. That's why I need you to take over some of the convalescent garden's work. I'll write what you need to do underneath, and if you're not sure about anything, you can ask Miss Lena to teach you. I'll recover as soon as I can, so I won't keep you for long. Before I introduce the work to you, please take a look to the right of this letter. There's the pouch with floral tea bags and some tasty little treats. They're all for you, to say thank you. Go on and have them while you read below. Your daily work will involve the following. 1. Temperature logging and warning. Each greenhouse entrance has a terminal to control the thermoregular equipment. You just need to check each day if the figures are normal or not. That's all. If the equipment gives a warning, then report to Miss Lena as soon as possible, and she'll help you solve the problem. 2. Operating the lighting. The garden's lighting systems are all unified under PRTS control, so you don't actually need to worry too much. But just in case it's not working properly, you'll need to operate them manually and adjust them into the correct positions. I've drawn detailed instructions on another sheet, so make sure you look over that carefully. 3. Plant irrigation. You can leave most of the plants alone, and the greenhouse will sprinkle them at the same times each day. The schedule should be stuck to the door, so don't go inside when that's happening. There's some other flowers too, the ones in my studio, and I'm really sorry, but all I can ask is you take care of them for the time being. I've labeled how much water and nutritional fluid each plant needs in their pots, so keep a close eye on the markings on the spray bottle, and don't give them too much. And that's all I wanted to tell you. Once again, thank you for finding the time in your busy schedule to help me. If you like the presents I left you, then I promise I'll make more for you once I'm back in shape. Pedenko. Yeah, Pedenko is definitely a member of the medical department because she does not take care of herself. She really just does not take care of herself. If I had to, I need to make. I was going to add that into my fanfic as well. She should take her own advice. She doesn't take care of herself because from what I've seen of her op record, she basically she migrates herself to another city and basically asks anybody that's able, like, hey, can I work on some plants? You don't really need to do much for me. I'll sleep in a shed or whatever. And then she outfits her own dormitory into another part of the greenhouse. And she's like, oh, it's okay. I'll just sleep in the shed. It's like, Pedenko, you really need to treat yourself better. I'm wondering if maybe, like, Pedenko's a little bit autistic. Especially with how detailed she gives instructions. I can kind of relate to that. But anyway, Pedenko, go frickin' take care of yourself, please. Bamboo Ikebana. The young Oni warrior passes by this street every day, sticking to the glass of the florist's shop to see the new Ikebana arrangement, before leaving satisfied. Yes, must protect the precious cinnamon roll. That's correct, Sora. It is difficult to identify the age of an Oni, but she carries a bamboo naginata on her back, indicating that she's still Musa in training. Our florist has a secret rule. Oni are not allowed inside because their actions are uncouth, and if they are not careful, it will destroy months of the flower arranger's efforts in a blink of an eye. We are justifiably cautious, as we never know if they might have the support of their kin from the underworld behind them. There's an alley on the other side of the florist. Misbehaving students use it as a hideout. They demand money from their frail and weak classmates, throwing them to the ground or stomping on them. This Wednesday evening, I saw a little boy with a backpack run by the window with a sullen, tear-stained face and a bruised nose. On Thursday, he passed by this place with the Oni, but soon turned back alone and squirmed back into the alley. On Friday afternoon, I was helping the master arrange flowers when I saw people squatting along the side of the street with water pipes, wine bottles, crowbars, and the like. Before we could call the police, the person they were waiting for arrived. The Onimusha accompanied the little boy from school just like yesterday. When they got to our window, the little boy suddenly began to pick up his pace, and the teens who were bullying him quickly surrounded him. They were almost ready to kill the Oni. The Oni's bamboo naginata managed to block a few blows, but was broken into several pieces by their sheer brute force. Then, that was the first time I saw an Oni. The Onimusha had lost her weapon, raised her fists, tearing through metal with her bare knuckles, smearing her own blood into the eyes of her opponents, lashing out with her knees and feet when her fists were blocked, striking out with her horns when her legs were restrained, biting with her teeth when her horns were blocked. When the whistle signaling the police arrival came at last, only one was still standing. The Oni. She wiped the corners of her bleeding lips emotionlessly, like the legendary man-eating fiends of lore. The people were intimidated by her silence and kept their distance to avoid her, pointing at her from behind windows and doors. Then my master opened the door of the flower shop and walked out, sliding a bamboo leaf freshly folded into an appropriate shape into the palm of her hand. The young Oni warrior blinked, as if she had woken from a nightmare, carefully closed her fist, and smiled at my master. Matamaru's a good girl. She's a good girl, and it's really a shame that apparently Oni get discriminated against just because they're freaking built different. I mean, look at her. She's definitely built different. I wonder if we'll get any information about that bloodlust sometime. Trembling with fear, aim at the flying target. Control your originium arts and fire. And draw smoke to protect yourself. It's like all the drills she participated in at Blacksteel. Jessica is always especially nervous before sorties, but her colleagues know that she will do everything just fine during the mission. I'm guessing she goes on the healing tile.
I'll definitely prove myself this time.
Ah, cute. Frank is here with her. Okay, definitely face left.
Requesting medevac. I dragged everyone down. It's all my fault. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Jessica. It's okay. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, how's this gonna work? Okay, not like that.
Requesting medevac. I dragged everyone down. It's all my fault.
Wonder when we get 5-star or older, Jessica? Good question. Very good question.
I'll definitely prove myself this time.
I can never honestly keep track of the time, whatever, in the,
No mercy from me.
the whatchamacallit? The timeline, that's it. Okay, Franca needs to be unblocked so that she can...
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Can't be chained up because she needs... Okay, so smoke spray... Oh, yep.
I'll definitely prove myself this time.
Smoke screen with the chains. With the healing tile, she should stay alive. And then Franca kills everything else. Okay.
No mercy from me.
Yeah, smoke screen's keeping her alive. Uh...
Freeze! Requesting medevac. I dragged everyone down. It's all my fault. Sorry. I'm sorry.
This is definitely an interesting paradox sim.
残念ながら電柱は汚染されてるみたいね。それなら。Unforgivable. 重装甲とか超怖い。なんてね。迷ってる暇、息の根を止める。Unforgivable.
Tesla coils? Yeah, that'll die from the tile, I think, in the slow.
重装甲とか超怖い。なんてね。
Okay, well that makes sense now.
Requesting medevac. I dragged everyone down. It's all my fault. Sorry. I'm sorry.
And I'm still thinking about Podenko not taking care of herself. She's gotta do better.
Standing by. No mercy from me. 重装甲とか超怖い。なんてね。時間がない。息の根を止める。
Ah, survived. But of course, not gonna survive that. Here we go.
I really did it? I managed to protect everyone by myself?
You sure did, Jessica. Good girl. Blade of Loyalty. When she used to be a merc, Cutter never violated her 3 principles even once. And even since she joined Rhodes Island, she naturally hasn't defrauded or trafficked anyone again, much less killing the innocent. On the rare occasion she causes any damages on her missions, Rhodes Island is always there to deal with the aftermath. In that case, Cutter only has 1 principle left. Never let an enemy get away. Trust her blade. You won't be disappointed. Right here, maybe? Hard to say, there's a lot of spots here. I see, I don't want to hit this guy. So I'm going to end up playing tic-tac-toe with him.
You really think you'll get away? 治療が必要な人はいませんか？そうですが。お薬です。わかった。ゆっくりとね。大丈夫。治ります。Sure you a good spot. 治療してほしい。大丈夫。治ります。わかった。ゆっくりとね。ちゃんと狙って投げないと。This is the place. お薬です。
I know I'm on a time limit, but I've forgotten just how much my time limit actually is with this guy. That would be it. Nailed it.
Mission accomplished. 契約通り任務は完遂した。確認する？
That was fun.
I will be your shield.
Okay, so here's the unfortunate thing. Chapter 10 has a they've done things differently now. Now they have like this reward system for the chapter, kind of like these missions. And there's an operator that I really want, and I would like to E2 immediately, but she is only available at chapter 10-11. And since I want to also read this without breezing through the entire map, because I won't come back to it later, of course, I'm probably not going to get to her for like 3 days, and that's going to bug the hell out of me. Anyway, let's get started. So that was interesting. Doctor, you found an unsigned notebook that goes into its owner's experiences in Londinium in great detail. There's all kinds of useful information you can learn from it. As this series of events continues to unfold, you'll unlock new information and receive the corresponding rewards by collecting more clues. Be careful, Doctor. Different mission difficulties earns us different rewards. The situation is looking dire. Let's stop here for the time being. We're waiting for your orders, Doctor. I feel like I wasn't doing my Amiya right there. So, yeah, you got, like 10-11, 10-2, and they all come with different difficulties. Now you have the challenge mode as a difficulty you can try at the same time as everything else. Excuse me. But it also costs like twice as much. The Pursued. You see the shadow of the Nomitic city, Londinium, and so too have they seen you. Oh boy, it's Jagoff again. And also Teresia, who is very much not supposed to be alive right now. Our project is near its close. I hear the sound of the storm. So do they. They're telling me now how they sound. They're telling me now how they like this sound. They're dying to become part of the storm. To howl wantonly through the air, to go and devour this hateful city before us. Perfect. In 10 days, our airship will be complete. From there, we'll be able to take to Londinium skies, serve as the storm's very pilots. I'll be going with them. That suits our plan. That's Teresa. They look exactly the same, so I can't tell the difference between them. That suits our plan. You are the optimal candidate to command our air forces, given I must be defending the Shard. No, Teresia. Teresia? That's not Teresia. They say this. Therasis? No, Therasis. That isn't what I mean. They and I, as one, can but only go together. Good. Prior to their departure, you are to continue fulfilling your duty. It's super annoying even back during Arknights memoirs. What is? The Horacia and Therasis. Pronounced differently, and it bugs me. The royal court needs you, and our soldiers need their most trustworthy monarch. Moreover, you are more proficient in building than I am, by all rights. Our construction rate has sped up by 10% since you began attending court meetings. I would not forget what I am meant to do. Also, I noticed you disposed of those guards. The confessory have given you no end of grief for that, have they? These siblings with their way too similar names? Yeah. Yep, definitely. Disposing of the guards about you was the military commission's decision. We need more sentries, so we can answer to the greatest period of danger. If needs be, I can enter the battlefield too. Stay here. This tower, and the airship. Those lie at the core of our plans. Once the two projects are through and done with, Gadsdale will possess the power to fend off all nations. Fend off all nations, say. I've always known of your ambitions, but it makes it no less unbelievable to hear every time. Hasn't it always plagued you that they would not permit us to rise again? Very soon, you will be plagued no longer. Indeed. If even bearing the storm is ours to control, it would still be occupied by the dark clouds floating at its head. In the past, we Sarkas let our enemies pursue us. Time and time again, we stood up in the ruins, and time again, we rebuilt our homeland. And time again, we watched our home be torn to shreds by the wars they incited. Sarkas. Sarkas. We are a rootless people. Why is that? Solely because they have occupied our finest soil and forbid our roots to take? In the war 200 years ago, it took all our might to drive the enemy back. Yet, still could not preserve Castle. After that, how much time did we devote to just about reconvene our stranded remains? And how much more time? Transport these bare shreds Victoria and Ursus could not see to a wasteland they were just as blind to. And rebuild Castle. And rebuild Castle again right underneath their noses. 200 years? Yes. It has taken us these 2 full centuries. So what of the next time? Suppose our castle is to once again be razed by flames of war. How much more time will we need to build it? Now 500 years? Or even longer? Our enemies have almost gotten away with this, precisely because we've become accustomed to drifting. Ruination after ruination may never snuff out the Sarkas soul, but it has inarguably scattered us. Castle today is merely crammed with those houses. It is not home. Still more Sarkas wander the great land beyond. No dreams in their mind's eye further than tomorrow's bread. Even the royal court. All Castle has is its 10 kings' court of tradition, and the majority of those 10s have left their positions vacant. This is why you wanted war. It is not my want, but the Starcast's need. This time, it will be beneath our feet where war's flames ignite. Victoria, Ursus, Lithania. Not one city, not one patch of soil will be fortunate enough to escape. Within the next century, our enemies will no longer have the energy to set their sights on Castle. No, more than that. Once we have the ability to guide the storm, they'll come to fear the Sarkaz's gaze instead, just as they fear the storm descending. The storm gathers atop this tower we stand in. They will see us, stood in the storm's eye. Every enemy of the Sarkaz will throw themselves at us with all they have to stop us. Then let them. You don't fear the inferno consuming your body too? When the first thunderbolt strikes? When you built Babel, you too knew all oppressors would point their swords at you. And did you ever once fear? The tower you built with life has collapsed. It's like another castle. And at this moment we stand here, in a new tower, and a new responsibility. New opportunity. Look at Londinium today. You only just presided over the meeting of the kings. How can you not have realized? Not even before the useless war between us began, were the Sarkaz so close to unity. I'll return to the city's outer barracks soon, Your Majesty, Thracia. I understand, Naxera King. Our meeting here will be as brief as possible. You're always in such a hurry, Naxera. You don't want to get together with us. I haven't the time to spare, Vampire. 100,000 are stationed outside Londinium. Nor I nor my soldiers can spare 1 second of complacency. His head will have to stay on his neck for a moment longer. Don't add to the city's Victorian... Don't add the city's Victorian... Okay, there we go. Don't add the city's Victorian army to our troubles. Fine enough. That said, don't you feel that some still haven't been put to use? Do you speak of myself, Vampire? I have great affairs upcoming, don't I, Your Highnesses? Of course. Control of Londinium is inseparable from the efforts of us all. Has there been word from the messenger you sent, Confessors? By Manfred's tireless urging, the leash is now fast on the way to Londinium. The few W's left remain battling strange monsters in Eartha's north. Their hearts hold the royal court no more. The Cyclopses send a letter. As ever, she describes a tragic scene. Londinium sundered by great fire into thirds, the shard fallen under lightning strikes in their hundreds, and the Regent. Yes, she still prophesizes your end, Regent. Speak. She says she has seen your solitary death on the underground throne of the Palace of Westhugel. Is this Thracia or Therasis? Give her a reply, thanking her for her concern. Continue searching for any sign of the gargoyles. So long as you can find any remnant blood vessels, immediately send an invitation. The Council will, together with the royal court, ensure victory in this war. Editor note, the gargoyle they're looking for is Mudrock. If the Sarkaz can still be given a new chance, then that chance lies before our eyes, and it is one and only. And very, very many will die. So many Victorians. So many Sarkaz. The people's blood will change this gray city through and through. Their wails will cower, even in the thunder. This is the war. A war between us and them. One continued without end for centuries. Yes. War. This has always been how we Sarkaz continue to live. If you have any objections, speak. Single out the dangers of my plan, just as you have countless times before. I have no objection. None, you say? If you could hear these sounds in my head, you would know. They would not allow me another choice. Provided this war can truly free Kasdal from the cycle of destruction. Provided this storm can truly put the Sarkaz's smoldering entity. Can truly put out the Sarkaz's smoldering enemy. Enmity. And return countless souls to the freedom of rest. I will stand with you, ensuring our dream can be made reality. A fine turn. There is one more thing. The Rhodes Islanders are already on their way. "8:50 a.m. Overcast. 127 kilometers out from Londinium, operation platform of an abandoned mine. Dr. Calcit, anchoring sequence will begin in T plus 100, T plus 1 hour 48 minutes. Good. Ensure the boarding region can operate normally before then. Understood. Step up the cleanup. Farron. Have all critically ill patients been appropriately situated? Relax. Just the last 3 left. We're operating on them tomorrow. We'll have the moving sick beds arranged in no time. Don't rush me, okay? You standing here with your stern look makes our medic operators have to keep peeking at you. This is an emergency. Fine. I get it. Quit joking. Every day's been like a battle ever since we entered Victoria. You hadn't transferred so many operators away beforehand. Rhodes Islands must operate as usual. We reached consensus at the first resolution meeting, or Farron. No complaints from me. You made Monster lash me to the side of the ship 4 years ago. I mean, when you invited me to Rhodes Island, we agreed I would research oropathy alongside you, as a doctor. There wasn't any follow the new king of Sarkaz in a fight to win back Kasdal type clause in my contract, and switching Kasdal out for Londinium changes nothing. This goes for a great deal of our operators. I have no intent of forcing any one operator to operate in a mission irrelevant to their long-term goals. Moreover, no matter the other operations we are forced to take on, we cannot turn a blind eye to the infected throughout every region. If it wasn't for our work there, we'd have at least a few more elite operators to spare from this Londinium trip. I wonder how Amiya's crew is doing. Once we reach the vicinity of Londinium, we'll receive word. Recon group. Report situation on both sides. Received. No threat. Copy. Closure. We can pass through ahead. Keep the engineering team with us. On it. Doctor, still got it in you to move? Want my drones to give you a little lift? Doctor, we just need to walk a little longer. When we're out of this danger zone, we can ride on our crafts and recuperate a little. Amiya's been taking fashion advice from Chin. Look at her. She's got the tie, and it's diagonally striped. She's got her sword equipment over here and stuff. She just been taking fashion advice from Chin. I don't know if that's the best thing, but considering she kind of ate old Chin's memories, I don't know what she would have expected otherwise. We'll need to send Dr. Calcid a message at some point too. He must be extremely worried about us. He should be sending us a message. For safety, we can't use any messaging devices on our approach to Londinium. Any signal might be interrupted by the Duck's forces. The Duck's force. Is this a typo? Is this supposed to be Duke's force? And it says Duck? Or is Duck Lord actually here? I can't tell. Gonbare Yostar. Gonbare. You know the funniest thing that happened with this update? So, Horn, the ever-lovable Horn, the White Wolf, Rita Scamandros, from Chapter 9, was her operator file was translated as feline, which is absolutely hilarious because she already looks exactly like Blaze Player 2, and now she just is Blaze Player 2 until they fix it. Absolutely hilarious. Okay, so I assume that's the Duke, but we're going to treat it as Duck Lord because Yotostar can't translate. No, it might get even worse. Doctor, we can't afford to have Theris spot us so quickly. Doctor, just leave this to me. Ever since we planned to drive into Victoria, Dr. Calcid and you have been busy securing the safety of our route. I will take charge for the rest of it, just like we've agreed on. I want a chance for you to catch your breath too, even if it's just mentally. Doctor, we have to keep going. Are there times I think about There are times I think about how we got in over the past months. It seems too smooth to believe. That ragtag bunch of windbags are all together in London. Excuse me. That ragtag bag of windbag. That ragtag bunch of windbags are all together in Londinium right now. They haven't even noticed us. Also, did you use some kind of ancient technique I'm not aware of? If any arts could truly render Rose Island invisible, believe me, I would have used them over a decade ago. Huh? I almost forgot. Disused Military Mining Equipment Recovery Organization. Is that right? We've been using that title for passage and permit to park the whole way. Trust the doctor to come up with that. Doctor tends to have a unique angle of thought on certain aspects. And luckily, Closure's personal interest has led her to lead the engineering department over the past years to develop technologies for using scrap. which, in short, renders the title a fine one. With the addition of a few friends as aides, this plan has been more successful in execution thus far. As for what comes next, that lies with Amiya. To left or right, Indra? Check. How's the right side? Tisk. Someone who thought he was funny had caught me. Someone who thought he was funny had me caught up for a second, but he's over with it now. And Dagda. Uh, I want to give Indra an accent because she is like Glasgow, but I have no idea how to do a Glasgow accent. Sorry. I heard steel claws and crossbow bolts mashing into each other. Enemies left to the right. Leave him to her. Hey, there's one hiding right here. Now there isn't. Just a missing Dagda. Vina, listen. It's dead silence behind. I said she could sort it out. Good. Vanguard Group. Mission complete. Notify Ami immediately. There are no more nobles patrols in the vicinity. They can pass through. The road ahead is clear. No casualty. Ugh. No casualties. Messaging devices back in operation. Doctor, we're just about to catch sight. Man, I cannot read tonight. We're just about to catch sight of Londinium. Hold on, Doctor. Jessica sent me a message. Before we carry out the next step of our plan, we need to send a few operators to run a different mission. We have 2 targets to rescue. One's a friend at Blacksteel, and the other's an informant who can help us enter Londinium. So, who's the Blacksteel person? Environmental capacity. Environmental capacity. Environmental compatibility. TRTS analysis. Alright, I'm about to quit. I'm about to quit. I can't read today. TRTS analysis indicates that a 3-star rating has not been achieved in a lower level environment of this stage. Environmental compatibility will be activated. Under environmental compatibility, attempting this stage will consume sanity equal to the current environment and all lower level environments combined. Upon completion, progress will be synced, and you will receive awards for both the current environment and all lower level environments. So what this is this gives you story mode. This gives you a story. This gives you like a lower level, as well as a higher level of. How do I lower this or raise it? I don't get it. You're supposed to be able to do hard mode on this. How do I do this? Tara, Tara, where are you? How does this work? I want the hard mode. Give me the hard mode. Why no hard mode? Hey, you're supposed to be able to do like hard mode as well when you do this, not just story and standard. I don't even know how to lower the compatibility. How do I do this? Oh, that's how I do it. Okay. I figured it out. Don't worry. Okay, so now what happens is now I basically get to do challenge mode by itself, and I don't have to do them separate. I can just do them together. So now I get two, I get, it does cost twice as much though, but I have a lot of sanity pots, and I'm not really going anywhere. Raid target. The walls tower before us. The walkthroughs are a labyrinth. We need a guide. Environmental conditions. Sarkaz Royal Court soldiers have increased HP, and the DP cost of guard and sniper operators is tripled. Also, what can happen is these maps will change sometimes if you do the challenge mode versus the regular mode. I don't think this one changes at all, but it might. Oh yeah, with this you can, it doesn't even cost sanity, you can just breeze through it. And HP and attack is significantly increased, starting DP up, and redeployment time is reduced by like half. So it's not lot. It's not a lot, but it makes it much easier for people to get through the story, and I think that's a nice improvement, adding an easy mode, as well as a super challenge mode. So if this is a little hard, a little too hard, I will just yeah, I will just pretend this didn't happen, and I will look the other way and go back to normal mode. I doubt that'll happen, though. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna grab a bunch of things, and then we'll call it a day. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, Liskerm's got a new VA, we gotta check that out, so does Saria.
A new mission? Understood.
So does Warfare.
I need to prepare my equipment first.
Ah, another assignment perfect for testing weapons. Of course, I'm very pleased.
I'm being assigned to combat? Oh, just give me a bit more time to get ready. I can do this.
7:25 a.m. Overcast. 10 kilometers from Londinium. Wilderness Highway. Blacksteel's aircraft was about 100 meters from above our position when its signal disappeared. Let me grab the telescope and pinpoint the precise location. Wait, why are you standing up? Do you smell the smoke? Don't think so. I could put that lump of metal down. The aircraft is right ahead. Do you want to scout out the enemy's numbers first? Can't be any more than 30. You can tell all that from smell alone? The hell are you talking about? Before we left, Morgan told me they usually run in squads of 30. Oh, right, that's what the intel Misery sent back said. Patterns tell us they should have 2 other squads nearby to offer mutual support. Huh. They act like they own the damn place. Don't do anything rash. Amiya said not to make too much of a ruckus before we get to Londinium. Many forces have their eyes on us. Alan, how long has it been since you joined the Bunny Squad and started working with us? About 5 days since leaving the Atlant ship. And do you know how long it took for Siege to go from joining the Glasgow gang to become my boss? No. 2 days. She only needed 2 days. First day she beat me down. Second day we beat down a band of ill-intentioned Lithanians. Since then we've had a bond that goes beyond life and death. Even though we haven't been working together very long, I have full confidence in your strength, Indra. That's what I like to hear. Let's go. We need to catch up to Dagda. Dagda's already moved out? Are you telling me the dark shadow that shot past me was... When she first joined the gang, she had her nose turned up like some fancy knight noble. Now whenever there's a fight, she's the first one to leap in. We're gonna have to pick up the pace or she'll clean house before we even get there. Dagda throws a mean punch, and I can bet you she'll flip on top of the aircraft from the side. We'll wrap around the back, get rid of anyone there, and bust our way inside. Alright, I'll cover you then. After this fight, you'll be a blood brother. If I was to describe it in Rhodes Islanders' term, let me think. Something like this. Our objectives are 2 rescues, 1 Londinium citizen and 1 Black Steel pilot. Opposing forces are... Dublin. You. Stop squirming. Don't even try to reach for the transmitter. Don't kill me. My hand's gone numb and I just wanted to shake it out a little. Don't be too forceful. If you really end up killing the bloke, how are we going to explain it to the captain when we get back? Don't forget, this is our objective. Securing our flight back is just a matter of convenience. Do you know how to operate it? Not a clue. And that's why you shouldn't have killed the damn pilot as soon as you got in here. If you ask me, we stop wasting time, take this one back, leave this heapish wrap right here. All the men along the road outside are ours. What difference does it make if we take some extra time? The Sarkaz are inside the city and the Grand Duke's army is stationed in the barracks of the Annex Plate. Nobody's gonna bother us. Gentlemen, are you not Sarkaz? Your eyes fall out of your head? Do we look anything like that filth to you? Filth? You're exactly right. Enough. Don't talk to the Londiniers unless you're interrogating them. This run has the stones to cross the Sarkaz. There's no telling who we might be dealing with here. You're right. We should be on the cautious side. Hurry it up. I'm gonna see what the commotion is out there. Punch. What just happened? Sir, my heart's pounding too loud. I couldn't hear anything. We're under attack. There's something above us. M709, do you see them? M709! Black claws? Some sort of wild beast? No, it's some kind of special weapon. All hands, an enemy is hiding on top of the aircraft. They're trying to rip apart the metal. Man, Dagda goes hard. You managed to block me. The intel was right. You aren't just a band of highwaymen. You grew fat off Victoria's teat, and this is how you repay her, soldier? You're pretty strong. You working for the devils? Bastard. How dare you? I'm pissed enough to beat the tar out of you 10 times over. Remember this, Dublin soldier. We will reclaim Londinium from her usurpers. Be it from the Sarkaz or from you traitors. Your time running around like you own this place is over. Ah, look at you, all high and mighty. You nobles, still trying to cling to the old times. Looks like you're after this little coward who ran away from the Sarkaz, and the information he has on him. We're switching targets? Help! Save me! Leave him alone! This is... decoy? You little shit! How many times have I told you? When you're in a fight, always be on the lookout for tricks. You're late. That's because I helped you clean up a band of hooligans outside, no? Hey, tell her. How many do we have to go through outside? 7? Or was it 8? This isn't a competition. That's not what your face is saying. Back when we went on our first mission together, that one merc got away from you. You were living for 3 days. Morgan thought you'd come down with some awful sickness. You had the same look on your face just now. What happened back then was my fault. Plus, it was a long, long time. Where did you people come from? The one in black, I thought she was some knight noble, but the way you hit is like a street thug? Huh. You know your stuff. Hurry up. That one's no weakling. It'll be tougher to take him down than the other unconscious loats outside. They're able to freely move between the Sarkaz and the Duke's forces, and even able to control major passages in and out of Londinium. Dublin isn't some ragtag group of mercs. We need to rescue the hostages as quickly as possible and get to somewhere safe. I know. Your time running around like you own the place is over, right? That's a lousy one-liner. Not nearly scary enough. Remember what I taught you? What you say is, this is your last chance to beg for mercy. M701 requesting backup. Captain Mandragora. Dagda, Indra, we got incoming. I'd suggest we bail. Got it. They sure move fast. You were in charge of recon. You didn't spot anyone nearby? Too much work. I'll just take them out as they come. Colin, please stay hidden. Andrew and I will take care of the incoming hostiles. They're inside! Ladies, please save me. I don't want to fall into their hands again. Shut your trap and do a better job of hiding. Dagda, we're good as long as we bring the objectives, right? Shouldn't be an issue if we take apart this blasted lump of metal, yeah? This is one story you're gonna have to tell Siege when we get back. Yeah, just tear it apart. Just tear apart the thing that's flying in the sky. Yo, what's this music? God, what's this dark, dank thing?
Just like your simulation.
Okay, how do I kill this guy? Sarkaz Royal Court Soldier. Attacks deal arts damage and necrosis damage. Okay.
This battle is by no means out of animosity.
Stand by.
Do you have any additional? I have an extra project here that needs all your cooperation for testing.
Man, Cure Serum sounds really good. They did a great job with this VA.
By your order. By your order. A struggle with an ideal to support it is far from meaningless.
You're lucky there's safety guardrails there, mister.
私に気づいていない。気づいていない。治療が必要な人はいませんか？
Vermin. Yielding is not an option.
Do you have any additional directives?
Solidify.
Well, that didn't work.
By your order.
Alright.
A struggle with an ideal to support it is far from meaningless.
Yielding is not an option. Suppress them.
Okay, so somebody needed to be blocking over here to deal with this and also be healed.
Call for help immediately if you're injured.
And I did not think about that.
Yep. Alright, discharge!
It's okay.
私、破損したパーツを集めてきます。少しでも損失を減らせるかも。
That music was super funky, though.
Platinum, reporting for duty.
Platinum should do a pretty good job here.
I'll make him disappear.
The stressful test phase is now beginning.
もっと早く動けるわ。Call for help immediately if you're injured.
This battle is by no means out of animosity.
I have a visual.
Do you have any addition? Can I make sure none of you will surrender just yet?
Enforcing.
Lisk arm ready. Vermin.
やってみもう少し頑張ろう。
You can order me, but of course. This is part of work, too.
Maybe I should have looked at what necrosis damage actually does.
何か指示はあります。尻尾が流星のようだ。よくそうやって言われるの。ほい。治療が必要な人はいませんか？お薬です。受け取ってください。 げないと。
Oh, we got through the map. That's the important thing.
Mission accomplished.
8:15 a.m. Overcast. Several kilometers from Londinium, adjacent plate. Closure. We're getting a drone signal. Move. Move. Let me see. Ugh. Whoa, that's not half bad. The newly added camera module is working properly and has great clarity within 100 meters. The battery life seems pretty stable too. Keep at it with this baby and we might even be able to get over the wall and sneak a peek at what's going on inside. Hold on a sec. That's practically asking the enemy to shoot it out of the sky. Don't you worry. I wouldn't put everyone at risk like that. We've just got to hurry up and develop that stealth coding. Closure. The drone's sending an alert. It's somebody within a... Got somebody within detection range. It's charging its automatic attack module. Wait, that's the rescue team. Disable the alert. Amiya, Doctor, Indra and Dagda are back. I hear my dog. She's at my door. She's scratching on it, so that means she gets to go outside. Be right back. That would be a big relief for you too, right? After all, this is our first operation since coming to Londinium, and I'm still a little worried. Did it seem like Closure was kind of worried? She hasn't left the land ship for operations much before. That's before we talk about how none of us knew how long we'd be here. But it's alright. I trust her. And I trust all our operators. Whether it's the roughly a dozen operators following us, or Misery and Logos' 2 teams that went up ahead. Everyone signed up for this operation knowing exactly what we're here for. So far, we've successfully completed Phase 1 and 2 of the operation. Now we need to focus on Phase 3. Entering the city. If I'm scaling walls again, I'm gonna need a minute. We're not getting into Londinium the same way we got inside the Chernobyl core city. We've got a visual on Londinium now, Doctor. Look at how high those walls are. Nothing has ever managed to breach Londinium's defenses. Not even Ursus's high-speed warships. Londinium used to be the economic center of Altera, as we all know. But only those who have seen the city with their own eyes understand its reputation as an impregnable fortress. The waste drainage structures of most nomadic cities are vulnerable to infiltration from the outside, but the engineers who built Londinium even made use of this weak point. Reportedly, they built an automatic assembly line into the underground structure. Back in Londinium's glory days, the machines worked day and night to perpetuate Victoria's golden age. In times of war, the assembly line supplied weapons and ammunition to the defense systems built into their towering wall. The underground structure was designed so carefully that we wouldn't find a single gap in the engineering blueprints. And that's assuming we'd ever get our hands on Londinium's blueprints. That's kind of impossible in and of itself. I'm not too worried, Doctor. As you know, we have a plan. Once it's successfully put into motion, we'll all be much safer. And even if this plan doesn't work, we have a backup plan. And another one after that. I'm really glad we're not starting with a fight. It brings to mind, Doctor, that meeting before we left. Everyone was surprisingly on the same page here. Even if we had Rose Island's land ship, we'd basically be trying to shatter a boulder by throwing eggs at it. That's what Londinium is to us. We should save our strength for the tougher enemies. They're waiting out there. Doctor, I can feel everyone getting tenser each day we get closer to Londinium. But no matter what happens next, we're all ready to fight. Doctor, you already know. If we had to make a stand right here, it wouldn't be Closure doing it, or any of the operators who came with their own ideals. The responsibility is mine. Though maybe it would be Siege's too. Indra. You're awake, Vina? You haven't gotten a wink of sleep all day. Might be good to get some shut-eye before we officially return to the city. I can't sleep. Shouldn't Indra and Dagda be back already? I don't even know if I should be jealous of those two. Even though they signed up for the job to buy you time to rest up, they just worry you anyway. Should have gone with them. Ever since I came back, I can't close my eyes without seeing everything that happened back when I was here. If they're in danger, I should be with them. No. I should be standing in front of them. Look, you always worry too much. They're just warming up a bit before their homecoming. How dangerous could it be? Setting Dagda aside for now, did you see how fidgety Hannah looked? Huh. If you didn't give her a little task to help her blow off steam, I bet she wouldn't have been able to control herself. Probably would have punched someone the moment we got back into the city. She handles herself a lot better now. Huh. If that was true, she wouldn't be arguing back and forth with Dagda all the time. Even though she knows you haven't been asleep, well, she still won't shut up. How about it, Vina? Want to sneak a peek at your old home while they're out? They only know how to throw fists. I'm the brains here, so I'm naturally the most reliable. Why are you talking smack behind our backs again? Look at that, Vina. Doesn't she seem more energetic than before? A laugh out of Vina. You've been totally lost in thought this whole trip. You idiot, why do you even talk about that? You know how hard it was for me to... Thank you, Morgan. Except I'd suggest you get some rest yourself. If I needed someone to manage my mood for me, I'd be a pretty useless leader. Alright. Sounds good to me. Dagda. Here. You're bleeding? I'm fine. It's not my blood. Bad. Hang on, I hear my dog outside. And I just accidentally unplugged my headphones, which means everything is silent now. So I will have to fix that when I come back too. Ah, my daughter, the Great Pyrenees, I swear. Alright. I will continue reading as soon as I fix everything. So this is a new ending screen. There's the regular stuff. Or there's the hard stuff, there's the regular stuff, and that's the story mode stuff. So lots of things. Alright, I will be right back. I have no idea why that if my headphones unplug, it just turns off the sound from the player completely. I don't get it.
Arknights.
Doctor, I will be your shield.
So now I can get bunches of free stuff. Free chip catalyst, 2 polygels, spices, everything. Just nice little add-ons. Okay, now to actually finish reading. These men, those men, they were Dublin, right? What do you think of them? They're about as strong as a regular standing army, and the one squad captain that Indra and I took down fought with combat techniques that are very distinctly showed signs of Victorian military training. In other words, we might actually be dealing with a coup of some kind. Are they working with the Sarkas? They have no love for the Sarkas, but that probably hasn't stopped them from forging a temporary alliance. They want to carve up Londinium. No. Probably much more than just Londinium. Those dukes out there. How many of them support Dublin? How many support the Sarka? For shame! I'd rather let the flags of foreign foes fly over Londinium than let go of their pitiful little power struggles, obsessed with their own game of political tug-and-war. These dukes and their troops are responsible for creating this crisis. Now that we've come this far, it's finally time for us to put an end to this mess. I've said it countless times. As a knight of the tower, my sword and I stand ready. We're just waiting for you to lead us back to Londinium and gather up all those willing to fight for you. Agda, we agreed not to talk about that until after we got back. But we're already at the gates of Londinium. Didn't I tell you, Morgan? I'm not the only one who's sick of her. Been acting a bit kooky lately, and she keeps blathering on about random nonsense. Hey, Dagda, you don't even carry a sword on you. I don't care if you're a knight or not. Don't forget what weapon you have in your hands and whose side you're on. Don't be too hard on her. Either of you. We all have a past that we can't shrug aside. The reason we're all here today is precisely because we still have a score to settle. I've told you before, Dagda. I don't want to let any of you down. Siege. Sorry. I swore to trust you. And I swore to trust that you'd make the right decisions. But I lost myself today. Don't blame yourself. Our primary objective is still to enter Londinium with Rhodes Island. It's the one you rescued talking to Amiya right now. Yes. Balin took him to see Amiya and the doctor. Looks just like your average Londinier. It could be disguise. Dublin fighters said he used to work for the Sarkas but deserted them. Those Sarkas. I fought them before. They killed the other knights of the tower. Dagda? I'm fine, but we can't underestimate them. The fact that this guy managed to escape the city on their watch means he's probably more than meets the eye. If he really was that ordinary, Dublin wouldn't care to abduct him, and Rhodes Island wouldn't be looking for him. Right? Let's head over and see what's going on. I want to see if he really can lead us to Londinium. Anya, there's a communication request on Black Steel's channel. Put them through. Anya! Did you get our signal? I'm sorry to say about that by the time we got to the scene, the pilot Blacksteel hired was already dead. How could this happen? Poor Thorpe. I'll let the rest of the team know. We also weren't able to retrieve the low-altitude aircraft. It, was destroyed during the battle. That aircraft was rented, but, that's not too big of a deal. We still have spare vehicles, so that won't disrupt the operation. Is Mr. Thomas with you right now? Yes, he's a bit shaken still, but he doesn't seem to have any injuries. Our medics are looking after him right now. Is he the informant you said you could get us into Londinium? That's right. Mr. Thomas, who used to own a candy plant in Londinium's Sudanborough, and his uncle who lives in Colombia, our longtime partners, the Black Steel. His uncle put in a request to bring Mr. Thomas back to Colombia. Last time we talked, we told Mr. Thomas that we'd bring someone to pick him up if he found some way to leave Londinium. I just never expected that Dublin would hijack your aircraft. And by the way, they seem very interested in Mr. Thomas, too. Really? I suppose that's because Mr. Thomas is very familiar with Sudan. It's the place closest to you with the point of entry and exit. I'm sure he can help you find a suitable way in. And they're probably after him for very similar reasons. Right. I'll ask if he's willing to help us once he's rested up. Say again, please? We've lost contact with the team sent to link up with the embassy? I see. Sorry, Amiya, but something just came up. That's alright. Take care of what you need to do first. We'll go talk to Mr. Thompson's. Do your best. I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way. Maybe there's a better way of saying it. Amiya, and you too, Doctor. Good luck. Mr. Thomas? So you're the one. Which one? We didn't expect you to come so quickly. Quite an unexpected surprise. Were we quick? We've been worried about you ever since we heard from Blacksteel. By the way, Mr. Thomas, are you feeling unwell at all? I just noticed that your expression looks a bit different now. I might have gotten a bit ahead of myself. What I meant to say is, thank you. Madam, you and your subordinates saved me. I have no doubt that you are good people. There's no need to thank us. If you're a partner to Blacksteel, you're also a partner to us. And there's something else I need your opinion on. We have work that needs doing inside Londinium. On our way here, we heard a little bit about what's going on inside the city. Right now, Londinium isn't allowing anyone to the city without authorization. From the perspective of outside visitors like us, those high walls are an impossible obstacle. We've tried a few methods already, but it's far too difficult for a small business like ours to pass through a military blockade. As you can see, we only have a few office clerks with us, and we'd like to know if there's a safe way to get inside Londinium. You're trying to get inside Londinium. You know, the people inside are desperately trying to escape. This damn sarcasm. Just too horrible. I understand that. And it's why I'm not going to force you to help us. I'm also not going to lie to you and try to cover up the potential dangers of working with. But if you're willing to show us the way, we'll escort you to Blacksteel's evacuation team once all's said and done. If you don't want to go back, we don't blame you. Go ahead and leave right now, and we'll look for another way into the city. Of course, I understand that the way out isn't exactly safe. Of course I'll choose to work with you. Here's to a fruitful cooperation. Doctor, I never intended to threaten him. If he didn't want to help us, I would have arranged for someone to escort him. I was just stating the facts. Looks like we found our guide. Mr. Thomas agreed to cooperate with us, just now. It's time for our homecoming. Closure. Go ahead and call your drones back. Well, are we finally going to start the operation? It's not safe to stay outside the city for too long either. Thanks to Misery's intel, we've largely been able to bypass Dublin's troops. But we just got into a fight with Dublin. Judging from previous experiences, the leader of that squad can be a bit vengeful. You think they'll come after us? I can't say for sure. That depends on whether or not they give up on Mr. Thomas. Even if we successfully enter the city, we might end up fighting the Sarkaz troops garrisoned inside, and Dublin's forces at the same time. If only I could splash a coat of stealth paint on our operators too. We'll be fine. We've already done everything we can to prepare for this day. Doctor, please stand by me. Just like always, I won't allow anyone to hurt you. Let's get ready to move out. Attention, all members of Special Ops Squad Anya. We are now heading directly for the port at Sudan, Londinium. Captain, I've checked our forces. There are no signs of Londoners. In other words, your entire squad wasn't enough to stop a few people, and you even let them take our crucial objective. Captain? Rubbish. The whole lot of you are. Ma'am? Stop sniveling. Irritating. When have you seen me hurt my own people? Besides, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself. Even something as minor as this. Not a single thing has gone smoothly since we've come to Londinium. Those damn Sarkaz. Meddlesome nobles, too. And then there's that blasted Victorian soldier. The one they call Horn. all Hermione's fault. He forced me to bring the wolf along to Londinium. With all that talk, how she'd be able to use the soldier to buy the support of some nobles sitting on the fence if she were to come here. I knew she was going to run away and continue to be a thorn in our side. I would have killed her right there at County Hillock. Captain, this time, I don't think it was her. It wasn't. According to the survivors, the attackers were people they had never seen before. They didn't appear to be Victorian military either. So what you're telling me is a couple of nobodies can appear out of thin air and snatch a man from right under our noses. It's completely our fault, Captain. We'll track them down right away. Hold it. Stop bumbling around. We're about to leave this place. We're leaving? Otherwise, do you plan on bunkering down on this street? We're not ready to go mask off with the Sarkaz yet. Also, I promised Harmonia I'd let the nobles keep some of their stupid pride. It's all for the sake of Dublin. For the leader. Understood, Captain. You say you understand, but deep down, you don't understand anything at all. Otherwise, how would you have let that Londinier get away? Do you have any idea how important the information he has on him? He was the one driving for the Sarkaz? Yes. Driving. If he can drive for the Sarkaz, that obviously means he knows his way around. He can help us find the ones we're looking for. Our compatriots who are still in Sarkaz's hands, but are of great importance to us. Why do you think I'm swallowing my disgust and dealing with the Sarkaz here in Londinium? Just the way they look at us makes me want to run through with stones 100 times over. Just because, after coming all this way, I could finally do something useful for the leader. I'm sorry, Captain. The driver. Huh. You just reminded me of something. The ones who snatched him from us, were they also looking for a guide? Captain, do you mean? We're turning back right now. I want to see if they come across any familiar faces at the port. Say, for example, that bloody Victorian soldier. Not so fast, you lot. Once the captain comes back and we get some reliable information, we'll let you go. To be honest, I'd rather not raise a hand against you. You've been slaves to the Sarkaz for so long you can't even be called soldiers anymore. But it's not my call. If we can get any useful information out of you, the boss won't want to keep you around anymore. And I can't let you go either. What if you fall into Sarkaz's hands again and spill your plans? I say, how about you join Dublin? Never mind, if you were Tarns, the boss would have had you change clothes already. It's up to you whether or not you believe me. I, for one, would rather be out there killing Sarkaz than interrogating you bunch. Look, Londinium's fallen into the hands of the devils, and who's to blame for that? Old friend, I heard you even barely put up a fight. You just surrendered to the Sarkaz one by one. You made the Victorian army once the scourge of all of Terra so weak and pathetic. Where's your commander? Still wearing the fancy uniform off drinking with the Sarkaz? The commanders were right. Victoria really is rotten to the core. Without us cauterizing it, this great place will turn into a swamp of rotten detritus that won't even burn. Soldier, you should feel grateful that you get to die at the hands of your former countrymen. At least your pride of a Victorian soldier won't be tarnished by the stink of those devils. You people betrayed Victoria. Still you have the gall to pay lip service to pride? Who's there? I won't let you lay a finger on our troops. The occupiers are unworthy. You, Dublin, are even less worthy. You're the one who fled. Ugh. The 8th nest has been wiped out. You're here to save us. Stand up, soldier. Let's get out of here first. Soldier? You're a lieutenant? Which company are you with? I didn't think we still had anyone. Greatest Commandos, 7th Frontline Infantry Battalion, 2nd Tippus Platoon Leader. Or Horn, if it pleases you. Yay! Yay, my not feline. Heads down. Have you seen those sarcasms in the street coming in your direction? Pretend like you haven't. Touches of the Sangrenart have increased movement speed and are invisible. Touches of the Sangrenart. That is a mouthful. That's wild. So much reading. 9:09 a.m. Overcast. 3:09 Studian Aura Londinium. The port is right ahead. Are you worried about something? Actually, things have been going pretty well so far. With one exception. Doctor, the messenger who's been in contact with you and Dr. Kalshitz should have reached out to us as soon as we arrived at the adjacent plate. Doctor, I can't say any more about our current situation to the other operators. We've already gotten this far, so we can only keep moving forward. We'll enter the city as we originally planned. Ugh. Look how long it... Look at how long that line is. They're all coming from the direction of the city. We're really gonna run away like this? This way's safe. My neighbor's whole family left this way last week. As long as we've applied for an exit permit, the soldiers won't give us any trouble. That's not what I mean. I know. We're thinking the same thing. 4 years ago, when I first heard about the Sarkaz army on the news, I didn't think much of it back then. Yeah, same here. With Her Majesty gone, everything's turned to shit. Who could have expected that some duke would invite the devils into the army on a whim? 2 years ago, I saw Sarkaz troops walking down the streets at Trenfield. Everyone was talking about it as we walked home from work. I also remember it was as if things quietly changed overnight. Those of us who lived by the Duke's estate in Camden wouldn't see those changes until a bit later. Something like half a year ago, the Sarkaz army stood in front of our bank. It took away our manager because her husband held an important position in the city's defense forces. Ew. Did you ever see them again? The police fort in our state was replaced with all new faces, plenty with horrible horns on top. There's a there's a lot of sarcasm, racism, and in the dialogue in this chapter. I am not surprised, but just in case that bothers anybody, there's your context warning. Ah. I feel like I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Hold on. My nose is a little bit stopped up. Hopefully it doesn't bug me. And then there's yesterday. I saw the Sarkaz going to the corner opposite my home. They were knocking on doors. That's why you decided to flee? Actually, my parents left a long time ago. I just couldn't put down my banker's salary. None of us wanted this. Londinium. If we leave, we'll never be able to go back to our old lives, right? Let's not worry about that for right now. We should get going. I'd rather stay alive than make money. Is it like this every day? More or less. That's a certain point. They're his army. They're not stopping the civilians from leaving the city. By the looks of things, he doesn't seem to care about letting outsiders know who holds the reins of power in Londinium now. What's going on in Parliament? I'm... When we left Londinium, the city seems like it did on any ordinary day. And I always figured that if Parliament could convene for a day, nothing too crazy could happen to Londinium. As for the specifics of what's going on inside the city, we won't know until we see for ourselves. Excuse me, I brought you all the way here. You'll be able to go the rest of the way on your own, right? Yes. Yes, thanks. Yes, sure. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. You've done us a great favor. All squads, listen up. Follow the plan and mingle with the flow of traffic ahead in batches. Closure Squad will go first to make sure that the road ahead of us is clear. And Siege's Squad will follow up, with me and the Doctor's Squad behind that. Recon Squad, keep a close eye on our surroundings, and report any abnormalities right away. Balin, you'll be in charge of Mr. Thomas back the same way we came. Amia. What is it? There's a disturbance up ahead. Looks like Sarkaz fighters incoming. What? Everyone, the infiltration operation is on hold. Take cover. Hide yourselves. Grab that one right there. What's going on? Where'd the Sarkaz here? Didn't you say this way was safe? I'm talking to you. Stop right there. Hurry. Hurry, we're almost out of the city. Ugh. Wrong one. Sir, please. Don't hurt me. I'll go. Did we do something wrong? Go. Scurry off. stand here blocking our way. Listen up! Nobody move. Stop what you're doing and stand still. You, and you. Turn around and let me see your face. What's in your bag? Is it a weapon? Pour everything out and let me see. Why is there a burn mark on your face? Looks pretty fresh, too. Yeah, you. Get out of line! You burned your face baking bread? Do you take us for fools? Guess there really wasn't any weapons. Just to be sure, you're not a rebel, right? Got too scared and passed out, huh? Whatever. We'll bring this one with us. Lieutenant, we're stuck here. My fault. Before I brought you here, I should have made sure that we weren't being followed. Please don't talk like that. We've all been through worse. Whether it's my bunch that got captured by Dublin, or old Tom's group that were tortured by the Sarkas. We were pretty much dead men until you rescued us. That really was a taste of despair. I'd rather die in battle than live inside the enemy's cage, powerless and addled. You're not to blame for Londinium's fall. Not in the slightest. And you're even less to blame. You're the one who pulled us out of a desperate situation. At least I was able to get out of here on my own two legs and got to live an extra hour. I said I didn't have the will to fight anymore, but you didn't blame me. You even risked yourself to bring us here. Leave us, Lieutenant. If you're alone, you can hide. Avoid their line of sight and find a safe place. If we're sickly and chewed up, I'll only slow you down. I'd never leave any of you behind. Huh. If our officers back there were like you, then maybe we wouldn't have lost so quickly and disastrously. It took meeting you to realize that I wanted to make a difference, to be like you. You mean... No! You mustn't! Hey, if a few of us charged at once, how many Sarkas do you reckon we could take with us? Listen to me right now. None of you move. That's an order. An order? Fine, you're my commanding officer right now. I'll obey your orders. We still have a few minutes before we face the Sarkas. Keep your heads down. Remember what I told you. You're all vagrants from the neighboring estate. You got hurt fighting each other over a piece of bread. You expect the Sarkas to buy that. Zodian is a complete mess these days. They've probably seen it all. Doesn't matter if they buy it or not. Even if they try to interrogate you, just bear with it for a while. And if you can't take it anymore, we understand. Sarkas find out, nobody betrays the others. If you can't take it anymore, that's when I'll make my move. Lieutenant! Let's wait and see for now. Nothing over here. What about over there? There are a few more over there and behind that elevator too. Damn place has too many hiding spots. You lot, go take a closer look over there. The spiders seem to be looking for someone. Squads, report your current position. Position's confirmed. They don't seem to be after us. Seems like it. Doctor, do you still remember the tabletop exercise we did with Dr. Calcip before we left? One possibility is that the messenger we had active around Londinium and Victoria all failed. They didn't have time to provide us with the accurate intel, and Therasis was able to see all of our moves. In that case, Theris' personal guard would be here waiting for us the moment we set foot in Londinium. But it doesn't look like that's what's happening. think we've more or less reached the same conclusion. Theresis doesn't know that we're here yet. Otherwise, we would have had a very hard time even making it this far. If that's true, then these sarcasm spiders up ahead must be searching for someone else who could potentially come this way. Huh? Mr. Thomas? I mean, he tried to bolt. I barely managed to stop him. No, let me go. I can't stay here. Mr. Thomas, you better not run off on your own. That'd be terribly dangerous. I promised you I'd send an operator to escort you. I'm really sorry, but that's not something we can do right now. Ouch. Wait, you can't just take our operator's weapon. Sorry, but I don't want to die. Oh, you poor stupid bastard. What's going on here? He thinks the Sarkas are after him. I don't want this either. I was just their driver for 6 months, that's all. They took over my candy plant and forced me to ship things for them. I have a family. What was I supposed to do? That day I took a tiny peek, just one glance. How could I have known what they were doing with my plant? They've been chasing me ever since. If they catch me, they're gonna kill me for sure. Why'd you have me do this anyway? I'm gonna die no matter where I run. I just can't sit here and wait to die. For Thomas! Aelin, don't chase after him. We can't afford to blow our cover. I just keep running away from Londinium. I don't even care about Dublin anymore. Oh. Mandragora's here and she's mad. Huh? Eek! How could your... It's not up to you to decide whether or not you care about Dublin. Get him. I love reading Mandragora. Just because she's so mad all the time.
Do we have to compensate for damages incurred in combat?
Touch of the Sanguinart. A difficult to defeat reborn creation increases the maximum block of the unit blocking it.
This battle is by no means out of hand. By your order, the struggle with an ideal to support it is far from meaningless.
Block 4.
Enforcing.
Block 6. What's funny about Enforcer is since he's a pseudo AoE guard, he still gets to do tons of damage. That was Grani. Grani is also a pseudo AoE guard. And Tomimi is also a pseudo AoE guard because she can also do AoE damage.
見ていない
Very funny.
私たちはこれまで何度も勝利してきた。だけどドクター、今回私たちは己の運命と未来のために戦ったわ。これこそが本物の戦いでしょ。
Touch of the Sanguine Arc. A creation of the Sanguine Art of Vampires Originium. Creation of the Sanguine Arc of Vampires' Originium Arts. Flexible and difficult to defeat. According to rumors, the Sanguine Art is able to snatch the blood of other creatures, imbuing new life into it and taking it under his control. Reborn creation takes greatly reduced physical and arts damage. Units blocking it gain 1 block up to a maximum of +6. Sarkaz Royal Court Soldier. A soldier of the Sarkaz Royal Court. Londinium's munitions factories work day and night to produce weapons for the Sarkaz war effort. They boast a distinctly Sarkaz fighting style, but with greater discipline. Necrosis damage. After necrosis damage reaches 1000, the affected unit cannot use skills for 15 seconds, and every second loses 1 SP and takes 100 arts damage. Okay, so that's why they do so much more damage when necrosis is active. Well, hard mode was not hard at all, so no biggie. Sanguine Arc is just such a lol name.
In the blink of an eye. Well then, let's get to work.
新たな挑戦ね。治療が必要な人はいませんか。もっと早く動けるわ。
On standby.
大丈夫、治ります。 Commence treatment. 指揮する人、もっと早く動けるわ。大丈夫、治ります。
We'll simply have differing viewpoints. No.
行くぞ。お薬です。ターゲットが視界から消えちゃうのは嫌よね。しっかりして。ちゃんと狙って投げないと。地上でしか戦えないなんて思ったら大間違いだよ。指揮する人、尻尾が流星のようだ。よくそうやって言われるの。お薬です。受け取ってください。ドクターはしっかりして。私に任せて。何か指示は。ターゲットが視界から消えちゃうのは嫌よね。
Me and my army of pseudo AO3 AoE guards. Yeah, at this rate, Mr. Thomas is gonna get himself captured by Dublin again. Are you planning to... That bloody bugger. I'll bring him back. No. Why are you stopping me? Didn't we go through all the trouble to rescue that bloke? The situation's changed. We can't blow Siege's cover. So you're just gonna let him go? That's not how the Glasgow gang does things. Don't make a ruckus here, either of you. Bina? Listen to Ami and the doctor. Sniper operators. On the enemies holding our mark. The important thing is that Castor. Castor? If I recall correctly, Doctor, according to Misery's intel and Bagpie's report, she's the leader of Dublin's forces inside Londinium, and one of the instigators of the County Hillock incident. Rhodes Island doesn't place the blame for Rhodes Island doesn't put the blame of Outcast's sacrifice entirely on her soldiers. But it's not just Misery and Bagpipe who hold a grudge against her. Mandragora. Bagpipe tells us she's very hard to deal with. We can get into a fight with Dublin here, rescue Mr. Thomas, and even eliminate Mandragora, a formidable enemy who may pose a significant threat to our future operations. But the Sarkaz are coming. We're too late. All squads continue to conceal yourselves. Be ready to engage. What's going on over here? Noisy. Oh. If it isn't you, traitorous lot. Don't you dare use that word. We have nothing to do with Victoria now, devil. Who said you could call us that? A motley band of exiles taking advantage of the chaos to occupy a city. What made you delusional enough to think yourselves the masters of Londinium? Don't lump me in with your sorry band, thinking we actually give a damn about Londinium. The place is shiny and clean, isn't it? Doesn't reek of death. But if you ask me, it'll be more pleasing to the eye once it's burnt to cinders. The Sarkaz are only here because our king is here. Their king? The Sarkaz king? The regent finally decided to crown himself? I haven't heard anything about that. But a lot of intel reports disparate Sarkaz fighters gathering in Londinium from across Terra. And it's not just the mercenaries we're familiar with. There are older, stronger powers now hovering around the heart of the city. Doctor, I can feel it. Since coming here, with each step closer I take, these emotions flow into the depths of my heart, tangle around my thoughts, and grow stronger and stronger. Are you alright? I'm fine, Doctor. It's just that, for a split second, it's as if when I heard the Sarkaz mention their king, a wisp of those emotions sprung up and latched onto me. I don't think I can give a better description of what I felt. We need to discuss this. I'd love to spend some time talking this through with you, but not now. Even if there were a Sarkaz king who now controls Londinium, that doesn't change our mission. We came here to prevent a war. We need to figure out exactly what they're doing, and what they're trying to do. And that has nothing to do with what Therasis decides to call himself. So, can we skip past the shitty pleasantries, Dublin? Turn over the man you captured. Why should I? We'll take good care of your old home. Bastard. Stop. Captain. Not just you. You too, Sarkaz. I know who you are, Feline. You're the commander. But why should I listen to you? Because I've been to the palace of West Helgal. West Halig. We've all heard the story. You wanted an audience with His Majesty, but he had you escorted out. Do you really think you mean anything to the sarcasm? Why don't we just sit here and let the devils mock us? I can't take it anymore. Ever since we came to Londinium, we had to live with this inferior race. Not one more word. We can go back and bring this up with the leader. I said, not one more word. Sarkaz, no matter how hard you try to provoke me, I'm not leaving. We are your guests, as the one you call His Majesty and his Privy Council agreed. Do you really want to find out how the Sarkaz deal with rowdy guests? Well, at least one of us understands proper etiquette. We promised your regent and your generals that Dublin's troops would not set foot into central Londinium. Likewise, you should not be detaining me here, Sarkaz. Or do you devils struggle to keep your word? Can you even spell trustworthy? You uppity feline. Isn't the fact I haven't chopped you to pieces right here and now already proof I'm honoring our little pretend friendship? If a Sarkaz ever forgot his objective and started picking fights, he'd be found dead in a bar near a war zone pretty quick. We're here to root out some bottom feeders. These nobodies haven't learned their place yet. Sneaking around and making a mess of our work. By the sound of things, they're not looking for Mr. Thomas either. Could that be the friends the messenger mentioned? The ones who can help us out with our operation? The Sarkaz would certainly call them an enemy. If they really are right here, maybe we could help them. The line stopped moving. I hear fighting. Sarkaz must have gotten into a row with someone. Lieutenant, I saw their uniforms. It's Dublin. Her. The Dublin caster? She's a scary one. She's killed some of our people. She impales them on stone pillars that come out of nowhere. Her methods are even more brutal than the Sarkaz. I know. Lieutenant, have you fought her too? What am I even saying? You saved so many from Dublin, you must have beaten her. I lost. But you still managed to get away with her with your life. That's already amazing enough. I'm still not exactly sure why she didn't kill me on the spot, but I have my guesses. At the barracks outside Londinium, I saw them having secret meetings with the Count's messenger. I figured she must have shown me deliberately. Or maybe it wasn't her. Someone like her would have no way of knowing that my grandfather and the Count's father served together. They were very close. And the Count himself, if I recall correctly, was squire to a duke. Lieutenant? Sorry, I shouldn't be saying all this. During the long period of time I was hiding in the dark bowels of the city, I got used to talking to the metal crabs. They didn't have much to say back. I didn't have to worry about my words casting a shadow over anyone else. Some things I just had to say to myself so I wouldn't forget them. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lieutenant. I'd actually like to hear more. For the longest time I've been wanting to know who's pulling the strings up there, causing all this misery. The Duke I was thinking of isn't even in London right now. Or rather, I should say, he never cared a lick about the vacant throne in the city. If he really were secretly supporting Dublin, that would answer a lot of questions. But at the same time, it would greatly complicate the crisis we have in our hands. Listen to me. Everything I've said to you up to this point is just baseless speculation. If you want to hear more, we'll continue another time. Provided you're willing to follow me into the shadows. What are we gonna do now? Right now, we need to find an opportunity to escape. Dublin has been trying to get something from the Sarkaz. Might be one individual or several, which is why they set up in Sudian. In addition to troops like you, hunted by the Sarkaz, they've captured a good deal of civilians with some connection to the Sarkaz. Whatever Mandragora is trying to accomplish, as long as it creates conflict between Dublin and the Sarkaz, it'll work in our favor. Sounds like you have a plan. Robin, did you make sure to hide the crossbow I gave you? Up your sleeves, right? Of course, Lieutenant. Aim at that Dublin soldier, the one closest to the Sarkaz. It looks like Dublin isn't backing down. Sarkaz have a limit to their patience. This is going to boil into a fight sooner or later. Doctor, we're gonna have to use our backup plan. Come on. Turn him over and you all get to walk out of here alive. Make things easy on each other, why don't we? Captain, shouldn't we... No. I don't understand. No means no. Even if fracture our relationship with the Sarkaz? You heard what they had to say. When have we ever been friends? There you go. Those are your words, not mine. Formation. Round up these Dublin wretches. He is absolutely critical to Dublin. Non-negotiable. If we can't bring him with us, our only option is to kill him here. Wow. Such a trap. Actually, our other option is to kill all these Sarka. Isn't it about time we made our entrance? Hold on. We're still calibrating the aerial coordinates. Look, if we don't act now, someone's gonna get killed. Give me a sec. 13 meters in a straight line. 16. 15. Let's get a bit closer. We might have trouble aiming, right? No can do. Let's spot us if we get any closer. Just do as I say. It won't miss. Trust me. I'll let you use my head as a rivet. Move it a little eastward, and the reflection of light should cover its wings. Now. Mach 5, you're up. That's our cue. Robin, now. Hey, hey, hey! Ugh! What's the meaning of this? The hell are you talking about? You're the ones who tried to snipe us. Fight back. Those who spill Sarkaz's blood will pay the blood debt with interest. Don't let a single one out of here alive. Remember, you started this. with me. Slaughter every last Sarkaz. Don't let a single one live to tell the tale. Devil leadership mustn't learn what happened here today. Save me! Someone! Anyone! How many of these civilians have nowhere to run? Not just Mr. Thomas. So many are gonna get caught in the crossfire. Neither the Sarkaz nor Dublin have any regard for civilian lives. Doctor, Amia, I'm sorry, but I can't just stand by and let this happen. I just can't. We have no other choice. I understand. All operators, there's been a change in plans. All non-combat personnel are to remain hidden. All combat personnel, save as many lives as you can. But mind your own safety. Man, every time I think this chapter's gonna end, it just doesn't. Another bolt from behind. Came from those ones, in civilian clothes. They're carrying unauthorized weapons. Something's not right. We've got more hostiles in the elevator. Ugh. Looks like we grabbed the pest's tail. Turns out the rebels are here. Report this to General Manfred right away. Okay, now it ends.
皆さん、今回のお薬の効き目はどうで。いえ、帰ってからまたお聞き。
Oh yeah, gel. Give me that gel. More gel. Oh nice, tutorial. Below the city walls, a simulation of the defense capabilities of Londinium's cathedral or citadel artillery. Its fire destroys all, and hence the stronghold has never fallen. Londinium's secondary defense artillery, once fully charged, deals area true damage to both allies and enemies, centered on the friendly unit with the highest block. Oh, hi Spectre. Spectre also has a new voice actor.
Not one step backwards.
Please be careful. The enemies are currently focusing their defensive artillery on this battlefield. After firing, the artillery will need some time to reload. After the loading is finished, it will launch a large-scale bombardment at the allied unit with the highest block, dealing huge amounts of true damage. Don't worry, I'm the one holding this shield up.
Got it.
Yeah, she's gonna be just fine. Remember, Hoshiguma can just not take damage. She is literally just built different. These Sarkaz warriors don't look like they're going down easily. There's more and more of them gathering here. I'm afraid they have been influenced by some kind of Sarkaz or Genium arts. So when they're defeated, they come back in a harder, more resilient form. These reborn creatures will increase the blocker's maximum block count, while also being extremely resistant towards arts and physical damage. But the city's defensive artillery should make quick work of them, right? Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Got it.
9 block.
Yes, sir.
9 block.
Ready for blood transfusion.
Inspector Hoshiguma, are you alright? I'm hanging in there. Glad to hear it. The reinforcement squad has arrived, Doctor. Please direct them to wipe out the remaining enemies.
主の祝福があらんことを。
You are the one who...
弓を引いて狙いを定めて。福音が指先に集まる。ご命令を。弦の振動を感じて。
I should have moved Spectre all the way over here, because now Warfarin's gonna have a bad time. Oh, we're never actually gonna get there. Okay, never mind.
俺だって頑張ったぜ。あんたも見てただろう。なあ。
Never mind. Okay, it is currently 10 o'clock, and I have no idea how much more reading this is gonna take me. So, I'm just gonna cut it off here. I would like to keep going, but I'm legit worried that there's gonna be more excessive reading. Because it's hard to tell whether or not a chapter just ends or not. So.
Doctor, I will be your shield.
I will do that for right now. And I will find somebody to raid. What we thinking? Who is doing Arknights? Looks like somebody's just starting the chapter, so I'll go ahead and maybe raid them. Yeah, that sounds good. That's assuming I even have anybody to raid. Doot. They have a followers only chat, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Alright, everyone join me for tomorrow for more reading, assuming that my voice holds out after all of this. Trying to read Ami is very high. Bye-bye!